I wound up getting discharged in 2021. So right now I am actually a full-time student. I study computer networking, and I hope to graduate by the summer of 2023 if all goes well. Ace is about a year and a half. He'll be 2 in January, and he and I have been partnered since he was 13 weeks old. I started his training pretty much the day he came home because I knew how big he was going to get. I've done a lot of research on the Doberman breed, and I've owned dogs off and on my entire life. And I knew that by the time he reached his full weight, I wasn't going to be able to physically control him if he wanted to get to something or do something he's not supposed to do. Physically, I'm 5'2", I don't weigh that much. I couldn't stop him if I wanted to, and the last thing I wanted was to have an unruly Doberman running around and causing issues. So we started that right off the bat. And originally I hadn't planned for him to be a service dog. And full disclosure, I am not a certified dog trainer. Beep. But he has been worked with pretty much since puppyhood. But I did get in touch with a trainer to start giving him sort of an introduction to obedience. And I found her on an app called Good Pup 101. And we finished the course. He got his little certificate, and then we even went on to do the 102 class. If you've never used it before, I highly recommend it. It's not very expensive, and it's just a good way to sort of give you an idea on how to handle your dog, and it gives your dog a really good foundation for manners that they're going to have all throughout their lives. So when I was discharged, I actually reached out to another trainer, and he went to a full 2-week board and train facility, and that was pretty much a boot camp on his obedience, his heel, his place, his down, his sit, everything. And he did pretty good with that. I got him back. I was very happy with how he was. And then trainer number 3 came in, and that was how we discovered that he would actually be a very good service dog for me. I have a lot of mobility issues. There's a little bit of psychiatric issues sprinkled in there, but primarily my issues are my hips. And he's tall enough and strong enough that I can bear a good part of my weight on him without risk of hurting him. And he can help me get around or keep my balance or get up whenever I get stuck, which is a little embarrassing at my age, but we do what we have to do. So he was away for about 3 weeks, and he came back with his public access. He's fully trained, and honestly, I think I hit the Doberman lottery when it comes to him. He's so in tune with me. He knows how I'm feeling. He knows what I want him to do, and we have pretty good communication, but it came with daily practice. There wasn't a day that went by where we weren't training together. And I got really lucky with his socialization and his confidence early on because I was stationed at Fort Polk while I had him, and there's a good dog community there. I was able to introduce him to all kinds of dogs, ranging from pit bulls to golden retrievers to mastiffs, German shepherds, and he didn't have any bad experiences that I can think of. So he grew to believe that all dogs are friendly and great, and he doesn't have any sort of fear issues, which is awesome. And as you could tell, he's got his head down at the moment, but his ears are not cropped, and I did that on purpose. I know cropping is sometimes a huge debate on the internet, especially when it comes to Dobermans. Some say it's cruel, you shouldn't do it. Others say that it is practical. But me personally, I think if the dog is guarding and there's a high chance of it getting bitten or scratched, with the ears being so vascular, they bleed like crazy. It takes a lot to stop the bleeding. So I would say if they're used for their intended purpose, yes, crop them. But he's not a guard dog. He's a service dog. And I wanted him to have a friendlier disposition. so that people in public wouldn't be necessarily afraid of him, because he looks very intimidating if you don't know him. And honestly, I think his ears are cuter down. That's just me. But the last thing I would want for him to be is a guard dog. I worked with him so much of his life to make sure that he never guarded anything, his food, the car, me, the place that we live. He will alert me, he'll bark, and he'll stop when I ask him to, when he's aware that I'm aware of what's going on. But otherwise, he doesn't have a single guarding habit at all. On the topic of Dobermans and service, I know typically they're an unusual breed to see as a service dog, and again, it wasn't planned, but there's a lot of benefits and there have been some challenges along the way. With Dobermans specifically, they're not machines at obedience the way that Malinois and Shepherds and Labradors and Golden Retrievers might be. They're very independent thinkers, which is good if you need a dog that is doing what it's supposed to do naturally, like guarding. They have to be able to make their own decisions about how to handle a situation. They might decide that your way might not be the best way and that they're going to do things their own way, versus a Malinois that's going to be happy to do it no matter what. They want to please you. Dobermans do too, but they don't obsess about it the way other dogs might. And generally speaking, they can't, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Some can, I've seen it done, but a lot of the times these guys need a step-by-step direction on what you expect them to do, or else communication can get a little screwed up and they get a little confused, and then you're both just in a mess. But with a little bit of patience and dedication, it is possible to get these dogs to do just about anything that you ask, as long as you understand how to communicate with them in a way that they understand. But thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more.